Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Train Simulator Classic, aka Railworks. Today we're going to be taking a look at another product from Caledonia Works. This is an older model, I do realize that. However, for the time being it is still available on their website, and thus I see point in reviewing. So, we're going to be taking a look at the NER 1001 class. Long boiler 060 steam locomotive. In specifically, this is going to be number 1275, which I believe is the preserved example. Unfortunately, as far as the pack goes, it is not a dynamically numbered locomotive. It is one singular locomotive, which is 1275. That is it, period. But still a neat one nonetheless, so we're going to take a look at it. So the 1001 class was designed by William Bausch for the Stockton and Darlington Railway. I assume I said his last name right. Built between 1852 and 1875, there were a total of 192 produced. So it's a fairly early design, which is pretty neat in and of itself. I mean, we really do not have a whole lot available to Train Simulator from the early to mid 1800s. So that alone makes it, kind of unique. All were retired by 1923, with one singular example being preserved, which is the 1275 as we see here in front of us. I believe the design is built mostly for slower freight work. I'm not seeing anything stating that they were designed for much else, but according to Wikipedia, the long boiler design was coupled wheels continued for slower, heavier work. So I imagine the design was built for relatively heavy coal trains that would be on branch lines and whatnot out to quarries where speeds would not be generally very high to begin with. Now, as stated, in the pack you are going to get number 1275 here, which is it. It's not dynamically numbered. This is all you're getting. And then you're going to get a NER hopper and an NER brake van. And overall, they're pretty neat. They are older. They definitely show a bit of that age. But, it's neat enough to at least get some rolling stock to go along with a very uniquely era-specific locomotive. So, that in and of itself is kind of nice. That's interesting. The the link appears at certain distances. The locomotive itself looks pretty darn good. The detailing is pretty good. It does have animated drive rods and valve gear inside, which is not particularly easy to see, but that's alright. At least it's modeled. At least it's animated. That's something to say. You kind of see some of it right here in between the drivers. Now again, this is without a doubt one of their older packs, so their texturing is not as good as what they produce today, especially whenever you get up to things like the drive rods here and whatnot. They definitely do this a lot better today. Their model objects are cleaned up a lot more today compared to when this was produced. Very angular on this model. So it without a doubt shows its age in a lot of ways. But that being said, it still doesn't look half bad. Oh, nothing down in the safety dome here. Not half bad. So let's jump into the cab. Texturing again looks alright. Definitely dated. Kind of meh. Bells and whistles. What do we get? Driver's injector. Fireman's injector. Throttle. Firebox doors. Or firebox door, I guess. Damper. Cylinder cock. Interesting. Up is down. Reverse gear. Let's see, we got injector water and Sanders. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this is far from a complicated locomotive. I mean, it doesn't even have locomotive brakes. Your brakes are, it's got tender brakes and the brake van back there. So you got a handbrake, and if you drive with the HUD, you'll be able to use the brake on the brake van. If you don't drive with the HUD, kind of up Crab's Creek. A cab lamp, nice touch there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much going on. There's a whistle, but often I cannot seem to get it to work the way it needs to. Whistle does not work with the space bar. And none of those, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be the whistle. You can very clearly see the cord there. But it unfortunately does not function. Now the B key will play whistle tunes. Which the sounds are not half bad, but you cannot play the whistle like at all on your own. No space bar, no no physical button or cord or anything here to actually use. So that's a bit unfortunate. Lots of cab views, as is pretty typical of Caledonia. So let's get it rolling. Be sure our tracks are set up so we can get somewhere. Interesting cylinder cock. There you go. Now they're blowing through. Just see the valve gear and whatnot in there running. Control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Control 1 through 4. Change for headlights. Kind of interesting that they have different positions there. Again, this is not a locomotive built for high speed. Per the Wikipedia page, and the 1850s into the 1870s, trains are not built for quite the speeds we think of today. 50 mile an hour back then would have been a heck of a feat. So can't really expect it to really fly along here. But it sure looks good. And it sounds pretty good. Not fond of the smoke particles. Rolling stock sounds pretty decent. We want to get it up to a reasonable speed. So that boogie's along fairly quick. 32 right now. Imagine 25 to 35 is about what these locomotives sit comfortably at. Let's see if the Wikipedia page has anything to say about it. I know, Wikipedia. It does not. So, going off a guesstimation here, but seems to boogie along fairly decently where we're at right now. Be pretty good for some of the shorter routes or branch line routes out there. I actually do like that add speed sound. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and clear brakes here. I wonder if we can put some back pressure on and slow it down. We can. Use our brake band back here. Add some more brakes. Definitely would have to plan for slowing down and stopping far sooner. Because the back pressure on the throttle is wide open throttle on full reverse. And really slowing down. And then of course we got the tender brake set, which is essentially the locomotive. Oh yeah, definitely got to start. Definitely got to plan on slowing down far sooner. Boom, there we are. So yeah, for stopping, you definitely got to plan a long way ahead. Now, let's see. We started slowing down somewhere right about back here. We rolled all the way up here at 30 mile an hour. So you got to plan your stops out without a doubt, but overall, pretty decent locomotive. Uh, I like it. I think it's pretty cool. It's fairly cheap on their website, especially when they do sales. You can typically get 25% off or so on their locomotives, and I believe it comes out to like $12, if that, 12 US dollars, somewhere within that area. So it's not a particularly expensive pack, and for what you're paying, it's not half bad. I do kind of wish that it was dynamically numbered, at least, given that there were 192 of these built. I do think a dynamically numbered model would have been much appreciated. But just as it sits, it's still not half bad. I still like it. I think it's pretty cool. So definitely go check it out on their website. And hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.